Hi there, folks. So today we're going to be discussing foot strengthening exercises. Now, the key for this is the fact that everyone is like, well, why would I need to focus on exercises specifically for my feet unless you have an injury or an issue or something going on down there? But think about how much you use your feet. Are they sore at the end of the day? Do you use them a lot? Do you ever get, sore feet? Do you have your arch support in there? Are you just trying to get extra stuff, looking for new shoes because your back is hurting, your knee is hurting, your ankles are hurting? A lot of this can stem from our foot strength or the lack thereof. So I'm going to go over a few exercises specifically designed for the foot strength, working on through the toes, up through your arch, the bottom of your feet, and we'll see if you start working on this, if it makes you feel better. All right, here we go. A lot of these exercises I'm going to do you can do from a seated position. Just sit in a chair. You don't have to be standing. You don't have to be on the floor. Makes it fairly easy. And I'm going to go over them as much as I can to show you from a viewpoint on my feet what it looks like. The first move we're going to be working on is toe raises and curls. Okay, so I'm simply just going to lift my toes up and curl my toes under. So go ahead and take a look at my feet and how this works. So I'm going to raise my toes up and curl them under. Raise my toes up, curl them under. From the side you can sort of see I raise my toes up and I curl them under. That is simply the first exercise. The next exercise we're going to do is more of a stretch. We're going to work on a big toe stretch. So you can do this on the floor or you can do this in a chair. Since I'm already on the floor, I'm going to do it on the floor. But simply what you would do is you'd sit on the floor, put your foot up on your knee if you can, and then you're going to bend back your big toe to get a stretch down through the toe. Now, if you're not able to put your foot up on your knee, the closest you can get your foot to you and you can't reach your knee, you can always use a towel as well to put a towel or something behind your toe and pull back to get that stretch through the toe. So I'll show you what it looks like here. So I've got my foot up on my knee. Let's say I was sitting in a chair instead of being on the floor. You can do it on the floor. And I'm just going to pull back on my toe. That's it. Now for some people, you might not feel anything. Like I'm not feeling anything right now. I'm not tight right here. But for some people who deal with a lot of issues through the big toe, could even be painful for you. So just be careful about how far you pull back, all right? I'm going to switch, do the same thing on my other side. Just pull back on my toe. Now, like I said, if you can't reach your toe good, let's say you can't pull your knee up all the way. So let's say you can't pull your foot up all the way on your knee, and that's as far as you can go, right? You're sitting in a chair, and you need to take a towel or something to put it around your big toe, right? And then pull back in case you can't bring your foot all the way up to you. All right, that's another way to stretch it out. So the next one I'm going to have you work on is big toe lift and little toe lift. So if these were my feet, I'm just going to simply lift my big toe up and down. To practice doing that, do that about 10 repetitions if you can. And then you're going to do just your little toes, right? Not lifting the big one. So it's about separating the control of the muscles from your big toe to your little toes. I can't even do it with my fingers. Anyways, let's go ahead and look down and see what it looks like on the feet. All right, so big toes only, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, if I did that for a while, then I'm just gonna work on my little toes up and down, up, down, up, down. So it's harder for me on my one toe, but really have to concentrate. So I need to work on this more. All right, so that is another exercise move to do. This is much harder. It also requires some coordination and thought. We have muscles on top of our feet and on the bottom, right? Ligaments, lots of things going on. So we're gonna work on grip strength. So we're gonna grab a towel, anything you have nearby that you can grip, a blanket, something, and you're gonna grip and pull with your toes. So I'm gonna use a towel here, You can put it any way you want. And I'm going to grip it and pull it. Grip it and pull it. And then I'll switch after I've done a certain amount of repetitions. Grip it and pull it. Grip it and pull it. If you deal with plantar fasciitis, you understand the pain it has when you're walking, right? And a lot of that is based off of our shoes that we're wearing. Maybe we're gripping a lot in our shoes, we're wearing a lot of sandals, walking a lot on hard floors. Maybe we're just getting inflammation in our feet as well. So not only icing is good, right, for that inflammation, but stretching out the bottom of our foot. Now, one thing you can do is a ball roll. Now, I'm gonna just roll my foot over the ball. And you might find for some people this might be very tender, this might be very sore, but I promise you that if we can break it up and loosen up the tightness and then maybe ice later, doing this, and you might have to do this for quite a few days or weeks, but doing it over time might reduce that inflammation and loosen up your feet. All right, so this is what it looks like. Pick any ball you've got, tennis ball, lacrosse ball. This is a hockey ball my husband has, and you're just going to roll it over your foot, right? So you gotta find a way to do it that it doesn't hurt too much. And if it's not tight at all, doing this on a regular basis is like a massage. Feels very nice, right? Especially if you can feel certain spots are tighter than others, then that's where you want to focus. So this is just what we do for our ball roll for massaging out and loosening up the bottom of our feet. Now, some folks I work with have really big arches and some have really flat feet, right? So a lot of that has to do with our arch strength we have in our foot. So I'm gonna work on arch collapse. So let's say our feet are flat, and then we're gonna arch it up and go back down. Arch it up and go back down. And we're trying not to move our toes. That's the goal. Now, if you have really arched feet, see if you can make it flatter and up, right? This is a big one. And this is really good for people with flat feet as well. Because if you have too much flat foot, you want to work on building a little bit of that arch. Let's go ahead and give it a try. All right, so I'm here on one foot, and I've got flat feet myself personally, so I'm just going to try to arch it up and go back down. Arch it up and go back down. It's a very subtle move. I'm trying to not use my toes, just focus on using through my arch here. It's a very subtle move. And it also is coming a little bit from up here. I don't want to move my foot to help. I'm trying to really isolate my arch here, right? And if I did it on the other side, this one might be harder. This is my weaker side. And I'm crunching my toes a little bit, so I'm not the best at this arch support. I will tell you though, I've noticed that when I'm standing around and I'm flat-footed, I'll try to adjust my arch a bit so that I'm not putting all my weight into my flat feet, because that's what causes a lot of my problems personally. So I'm not a podiatrist, I'm not an expert in feet, right? And clearly you can see I have lots of work myself to do, right? My feet, even though I use them a lot, and I have done more of this than maybe some other folks, because occasionally I throw it in. This is not like my strength is working on my feet. There's also another good one you can do. I personally can't do it, so I would say if you can do it, good luck to you. It's about opening our toes, or just taking our big toe and pulling it away from our feet. Now, if you can do that exercise, good job. I've tried it, I just can't do it. So I want you to take a look at your shoes. When was the last time you replaced your shoes? Are you wearing the right shoes for your daily activities? Do you need arch support? Do you need anything extra? Also, there is a lot of good studies out there about spending some barefoot time. I spend a lot of barefoot time. You might have even seen from my workout videos when I'm doing weightlifting stuff, I am doing barefoot work in my garage. So I love barefoot work. If you have a beach to walk on barefoot, that's great because it's a lot of grip strength and working of the feet. That's really good. If you don't have that ability, I understand. If you don't want to walk on your floor barefoot because you have really tender feet, I also understand that as well. But there's a lot of good studies out there. Just keep a good eye on your feet. Feet are very important. We don't want to fall because we don't have a proper gait and we're shuffling our feet. There's a lot of stuff there that comes down to the importance of foot strength. So try some of these exercises, see if they're doable for you. If not, then you know you've got some work to do. All right, thank you for watching.